Before battle royales and tactical shooters ruled the world, there was an era where speed, skill, and carnage were king. The boomer shooter, those fast-paced, explosive FPS games that defined the 90s and inspired a whole new generation of chaotic, adrenaline-pumping titles. In this video, we're diving into 15 boomer shooters everybody must play. From the pixelated perfection to modern retro vibes, these games capture the raw essence of FPS glory. Whether you're chasing nostalgia or just discovering the magic, get ready to lock, load, and rip and tear. Doom is the game that defined this entire genre. Released in 1993, it threw players into the boots of the Doom Guy, battling waves of demons across the hellish corridors of Mars and beyond. Its revolutionary use of 3D environments, fast-paced combat, and iconic weaponry, like the chainsaw and the BFG 9000, set a standard for FPS games. Add in a killer soundtrack that perfectly matches the pulse-pounding gameplay, and you've got a timeless classic that's still as addictive today as it was 30 years ago. Even now, Doom remains the gold standard for boomer shooters.
Kill the intruder.
Dusk isn't just a love letter to 90s shooters, it's a symphony of chaos that pushes the genre forward. Set in a twisted rural world filled with occult horrors, Dusk delivers breakneck speed, ultra-precise gunplay, and mind-bending level design. Every weapon feels visceral, from the dual-wielded shotguns to the crossbow that pins enemies to walls. The retro visuals and haunting soundtrack nail the atmosphere, while its mechanics, like bunny hopping and rocket jumping, harken back to classics like Quake and Blood. Dusk proves that retro can feel refreshingly modern. Quake 2, remastered, breathes new life into an FPS classic. Originally released in 1997, this remaster updates the Strogg-infested sci-fi world with enhanced visuals, dynamic lighting, and modernized mechanics, all while preserving the breakneck combat and iconic weaponry that made the original a hit. From railguns to rocket launchers, every firefight feels intense, and the remaster includes new content and quality of life improvements. Turbo Overkill is what happens when cyberpunk meets boomer shooter. Set in a neon-drenched dystopia, you play as Johnny Turbo, a chainsaw-legged anti-hero tearing through waves of cyborgs and mutants. The game is fast, flashy, and filled with over-the-top action. Slide into enemies with your chainsaw leg, wall run to dodge attacks, and unleash carnage with its insane arsenal. Turbo Overkill is as much about style as it is about substance, making it one of the most exhilarating shooters in recent years.
I'm gonna paint the town red.
If Doom is the father of FPS, Blood is the crazy cousin who loves dark humor. Caleb, the undead gunslinger, takes on cultists, zombies, and demons in a gothic horror setting that's dripping with personality. Blood's arsenal is unforgettable. Flare guns, voodoo dolls, and the explosive dynamite bundle. The combat is brutal, the enemies are relentless, and the game's levels are packed with secrets and references to horror films. Blood is a boomer shooter that embraces its twisted side and never apologizes for it. Cultic is a modern indie gem that feels ripped straight from the 90s. With its gritty pixel art and bone-chilling atmosphere, the game channels classics like Blood, but brings its own unique identity. You fight cultists and supernatural horrors with a mix of guns, explosives, and environmental traps. Cultic's level design is top-notch, offering freedom and secrets around every corner. Boltgun throws you into the ceramite boots of a space marine, armed with an arsenal that makes every shot feel massive. The chunky pixel art style and relentless horde combat channel the spirit of Doom, but with a Warhammer flavor, so expect chainswords, power armor, and endless heretics to purge. Boltgun is pure cathartic fun, whether you're a Warhammer fan or just someone looking for an explosive good time. Ultra Kill is chaos distilled into pure gameplay. It combines the speed of Quake, the brutality of Doom, and the style of Devil May Cry. You're a blood-fueled machine rampaging through hell, and every encounter is a ballet of destruction. The game rewards creativity. Juggle enemies in mid-air, ricochet bullets off walls, and heal by soaking up their blood. Its minimalist art style doesn't hold it back. Instead, it emphasizes the insanity. Forgive Me Father stands out with its Lovecraftian horror vibes and comic book inspired visuals. Set in a twisted 1920s world, you fight against eldritch horrors with a mix of guns and dark powers. The game's insanity mechanic adds a unique twist. Lose your grip on reality and your powers grow stronger. Its eerie atmosphere and challenging gameplay make it a standout among modern boomer shooters. Trot is unapologetically Eastern European, and it's all the better for it. Set in a grim, post-Soviet world, the game combines surreal horror with old-school FPS mechanics. From gas-masked soldiers to bizarre monsters, the enemies are as strange as they are deadly. The game's atmosphere is thick, its humor is dark, and its combat is relentless. Trot is proof that even the most obscure corners of the FPS genre can shine. Proteus is a perfect blend of modern graphics and retro aesthetics. It feels like an old-school shooter, but with the polish of a modern game. Every explosion, headshot, and splatter is gloriously over the top. The levels are handcrafted yet open, encouraging exploration and secrets. Add in a killer metal soundtrack and a level editor, and Proteus becomes a creative playground for FPS fans. Heretic brought a magical twist to the FPS genre. Instead of guns, you wield wands, staffs, and tomes of power to battle monsters in a dark fantasy setting. The game's innovative inventory system let players store and use power-ups strategically, adding depth to the classic Doom formula. With atmospheric levels and challenging combat, Heretic carved out its place as a cult favorite in the FPS pantheon. Hexen took the fantasy FPS formula and added even more complexity. You choose between 3 classes: fighter, cleric, or mage, each with unique weapons and abilities. Its hub-based levels and puzzles require careful exploration, making it feel like an RPG FPS hybrid. Hexen's dark, gothic world and atmospheric soundtrack pull you in, while its gameplay keeps you hooked. Imagine Hexen and Heretic reborn with stunning visuals and modern mechanics. Welcome to Amid Evil. This game swaps guns for magical weapons, like a trident that fires lightning bolts, or an orb that obliterates enemies in a blood-red storm. The 7 worlds are stunningly surreal, blending gothic architecture with dreamlike environments that challenge your reflexes and puzzle-solving skills. Amid Evil's dynamic difficulty ensures you're always on your toes, and its gorgeous visuals are powered by Unreal Engine 4, proving that boomer shooters can look downright beautiful. With his one-liners, over-the-top machismo, and a love for destruction, Duke Nukem is the king of 90s FPS. Duke Nukem 3D brought personality to the genre, along with interactive environments, diverse level designs, and a huge arsenal. Whether you're blasting aliens with the shrink ray or throwing pipe bombs into a room full of pig cops, every moment in this game is memorable. Sure, it's crass and ridiculous, but that's exactly why it's a classic. Whether you're reliving the classics that shaped the genre or diving into the modern masterpieces keeping the spirit alive, these 15 games prove that fast-paced, over-the-top action will never go out of style. Which of these is your favorite? Did we miss any boomer shooters you think deserve a spot on this list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your fellow FPS fans, and subscribe to Nerds Games for more gaming content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, lock, load, and keep fragging.